Howdy, guys.
Howdy.
Welcome to the AU Convention in Chicago. We just got here this morning. We just got our booth up. Looks like there's going to be a nice crowd of people here, I think, right? And it should be a nice race. We're all looking forward to that. Already have a pretty good crowd of people coming in. So I look forward to a nice week, 3 or 4 days. So, seminars.
So, we have a special guest all the way from Austria, right?
From Austria, of course. Thomas Zimmerman.
Me?
Thomas is here, and he will answer, Ed and Thomas will answer all the questions regarding the Benzing. The Benzing. So, during my loft visits, club interviews, and everything like that, there are some questions, okay, because they are using the old clocking system. We're not going to mention about it. We want to
They might be using an older clocking system, maybe not a Benzing.
Yes, not Benzing, not Benzing.
All right.
Older clocking system, which is not Benzing, and we want to be fair. We're not going to mention that. And there are it's failing already. And they asked me, Romer, can you ask Ed, explain to us why we should switch to Benzing, and what are the advantages about Benzing, and how to use Benzing. And this is the good opportunity for us to discuss about Benzing. Okay, gentlemen, I'll give you the floor.
Should I start?
I'll start for a second now.
Yeah. Okay.
So, as a dealer for Benzing in the United States since 1997, it's been an evolution, a long evolution of time, and we've seen a lot of clocking systems in the United States, and everybody's clock has worked. But what I have seen is that over 30 years now, damn near 30 years, one company has continued to improve and continue to modernize their equipment. And that was Benzing, and I feel very fortunate that I'm the dealer for that company, because I've watched what's happened around the United States and maybe around other parts of the world, but especially in the United States, why we have such a demand for Benzing clocks right now. And the demand is because they keep modernizing and improving, and you see all the benefits. Thomas Zimmerman is here. He will show you and explain to you a lot of the new things that are happening, which are all exciting things and which every fancier loves to have. I mean, who wants to have to drive back an hour and a half to the club to get a report or a race report when it is available to them on their cell phone immediately when they clock the Pigeon? That's called live clocking, and it's happening all over the United States. And now you don't even have to drive back to the club to get an official race result. You get to see all of this live, real time. No time wasted. You got your family obligations, people angry at you because you have to leave a party or leave a family event because you got to go clock out or clock in or whatever you have to do. Benzing allows you to do it without having to do all of that. So Thomas is here. He came here all the way from Austria, and he's the guy. He knows everything about these clocks, so I'm going to turn it over to Thomas and let him explain everything that's going on in the new stuff of Benzing. Thomas?
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for the words, and also I'm happy to be here at the convention. It's already, I think, my 5th, 6th convention I'm joining, and I really like it, especially the communication with the guys and showing our improvements, because that's what also makes me proud in the job I'm doing. So I'm following the business in the world, especially of course the clocking business, and I can see where we are standing right now, where is our position, and I can say for sure we are those inventors of the cloud system. We are doing live clocking since 2013 in the United States, and as we are continuously improving this part, we are now already on the Benzing Live Generation 5 for live clocking. So this device, the Benzing Live device, is now in the 5th generation. So when you are coming from another brand, or let's say from an older clock, probably you are asked, what do I need to when I start getting a Benzing? At the moment, we have two clocks. We have an M2 clock and we have an M3 clock. The difference between those clocks is very easy to explain. The M2 is a little bit, let's call it, not a low budget, but a cheaper solution than to the M3. So an M2 has a plastic housing. It can keep one fancier 500 Pigeon inside. It can connect up to 8 antenna pads, and it has a touch screen, full color. It is compatible to live, to the Speed 2 antennas and to the previous G2 antennas as well. An M3, same, it has a touch screen, color, but it can hold up to 8 fanciers and it can connect up to 64 antennas, and more than 10,000 pigeons can be stored in that clock. It has a full aluminium body, which is cut out of one piece. That makes this product a little bit heavier, but feels really good in the hand. If I can compare it with a big brand in the market, I would say that's an iPhone Pro and an iPhone, let's call it like that. So that are the two clocks we have. And to make the set complete, you will need antenna pads. Antenna pads, of course, that's just one of the 5 we have. That's how you call it in the States? Laser
pads.
That's laser pads. We call it international Speed 2 pads. Speed 2 because they are already also in the next generation, in the 3rd generation. Before we had the PLB, the Pigeon landing boards. Then we had the classical speed antenna, and now we have the Speed 2 antenna. The Speed 2 antenna is called Speed 2 antenna because it really has a high speed reading, and as you can see here, we have 4 fields in the first row and another 4 fields in the second row. That means it's double safe to scan your pigeon. When your pigeons walk in, it will be clocked on the first row and as well on the second row. But the great thing about it is that these fields are overlapping to each other like that, and also on that side. So that means we have no dead zone on the complete surface of that antenna. The big one-love traces in the world like Hoosier, Big Andy, Pattaya, Victoria Falls, Africa Pro, all of them are using these Speed 2 antennas because we can say we are not missing pigeon on those pads and we are extremely fast. So this is not the biggest antenna we have, that's the 8-field antenna. There is as well a 12-field antenna available, and the great thing is you can put these Speed 2 antennas side by side. So if you want to have a real landing board of, let's say, 3 antennas next to each other, but another 3 in front of that, if you have really a lot of pigeons like one-love traces do, then you have a big landing surface for scanning the birds. This 8-field antenna, for example, will clock 20 pigeons per second because it has no dead zones. So it's really, really fast. And to make this set totally complete, we have a Benzing Live unit. We just mentioned it before. The Live unit is a unit which has a SIM card inside, it has Wi-Fi inside, it has Bluetooth inside, and it will be just connected between the antenna pad and the clock. There is a split cable, a Y cable. On one side you go in with the clock, on the other you connect your antennas. There is a power socket on it, and there is a GPS exit on it. Means we have a small GPS device which will be put outside of the loft to get the real coordinates and GPS time on every single pigeon arrival. Besides that, it's a modem and transfer all the pigeons to the club page to your mobile phone. It's also a second clock inside. So that means if you disconnect your clock, this will act as a continuous clocking, cloud clocking device, which will still keep clocking your birds from the pads, even the clock is not connected, and it will transfer it to the cloud and also to your mobile phone. In case you have to go to the club to do an additional basketing for another race, this one will still do the job in your loft. On the basketing side, we just mentioned we have a new basketing unit. That's the live basketing unit here. And the live basketing unit has the same advantage than the live unit. It has a complete live integrated. There is also a SIM card integrated in that one. And when you start the basketing, I showed it before on our dashboard. Once you start the basketing in real time, the pigeon will be transferred to the cloud, and also all the loft information. So it's completely transparent to every fancier participating in the race, that you can see from even from home who is doing the basketing right now and which pigeon and how many fanciers are participating in the race. And of course the new club unit is very modern. You just have USB printing. I'm running it now with a simple power bank. A power bank for $20 like this can run this club system for 15 hours, so it's very, very intuitive. And it has the same touch screen, of course, than the M3 clock. So when we are talking about e-paper printing, cloud printing, this device will even support cloud printers. So if your printer is in an office, you stop the basketing, the paper, in case you still need papers, it will be on the paper. We also have a new Benzing Live app released since last week. In the app you can even follow those basketing process, training arrivals, race arrivals, one-loft race arrivals, very simple. So in the app you have the overview about all the notifications, but also you have a complete overview about your loft setup. So it means if your clock is disconnected, if one power supply maybe is broken, or your antenna is not connected properly, you will immediately see it on your app if your device is ready to clock the pigeons. So here you can see it with green lights that my clock is running and the antennas is fine. Even if there is a new software update, it will give you an update on the app to tell you, hey, please update your M3 clock as there is a new version available. And the update also can be made at home, so you don't need to send the clock to anywhere. You just download the software from the Benzing website, connect by USB, upload the firmware, install it, done. So very, very simple to use. For the clocks itself, we have a lot of gadgets. We have wall holders. We have silicone covers to protect the touch screen. We have temperature sensors. This is also a very nice product. It's a small Bluetooth sensor. As I told you, the Benzing Live is able to work with Bluetooth. We have a small temperature sensor which will track the temperature and the humidity inside your loft. And it will also show it on the mobile phone that you can track in case your pigeon have problems with respiratory or with eyes. You can see if the humidity changes over the last weeks or the temperature is not stable enough. So this is something which is just a nice to have gadget, of course. Yeah, for the chip rings, we have two different type of chip rings. We have Pro 2 chip rings, we have Pro 1 chip rings. In general, we have 5 different colors. And the newest chip rings are the Pro 2 chip rings, 20% lighter, 20% higher reading distance, and a better closure systems. So that means if the previous Pro 1 ring has a reading distance of approximately 20, let's say 13 centimeter, the new one will have 20 centimeters above the antenna. So that's very good for one-loft races when you have a lot of drops in speed races. I think that's it.
Any question, guys?
How much it costs the Benzing 2 and Benzing 3?
Well, we have trade-in offers. So if you use a Unicorn or whatever clock you have right now in your club, you can ask Seagulls for a trade-in offer. Yeah. So that's a trade-in.
And the price varies because of the economy or whatnot.
Yes, exactly. So if you buy an M2 with a small pad and a live unit, it will be cheaper than you go with an M3 with the biggest pad and a live unit. So the prices are different. And if you go to the Seagulls website, you will see all the different sets. and then you simply call Camille and say, I'm interested in that set, I have a trade-in, and then you will get your pricing. Yeah.
The new app that you were talking about, is that a completely different download from if we had an app
Yeah.
for the last couple of months?
Yeah, if you go to the App Store or Play Store, you search for Benzing Live version 2, so V2. I will show, so it will transfer from the cloud all your previous arrivals to the new app, so you will have this data there. You log in with the same username and password than in the old app. The good thing is now you have all the Smart Loft features inside. You can filter, you can search, and you will get all this updated information. So,
Okay, great, thank you.
So I have a question, Thomas, in
Yeah.
regards with the pads. Okay.
yeah,
For example, I'm gonna place this now in my loft.
yeah.
What is your advice, the best location to place this? And can I put a mesh or a wire or a metal? So what is the advice
No.
in placing this?
Yeah, so this one, these are RFID antennas, and the killer is always metal. So if you use mesh wire down there or any metal to cover it, you will reduce the reading distance of the pad. The good thing is you can test it yourself. So there is an antenna test in every clock. You just connect it, go to antenna test, take a chip ring, hold it over the field. If you have the feeling the reading distance is high enough, keep it like it is. But you will see once there is metal involved, the reading distance will completely drop down. You have to see it like a wave. And once you put metal in it, the wave is interrupted, so you will have problems in reading. So we recommend using professional traps where you just have an aluminium frame where this side is completely open, yeah, or you put wood down and up on it. So if you have a wood piece on that one, even if it's 3-4 centimeters, it will not have any problems.
So how
in
are you
reading.
gonna mitigate the problem of, because of, for example, here's the trap,
Yeah,
right? And the pigeon might come here.
no, that's why you see these arrows. The pigeon should walk like that.
Okay.
So even you should not put the antenna like this, even probably your trap is very small, and you say, okay, I will use it like this. It's not smart because the antenna pads are like that. So the pigeon should walk over both antenna fields to get it. That's why we have these arrows like that. So this is the walking direction. But this is just one size of antenna we have. We have 5 different sizes, from the smallest single field until a big 12 field. We have.
So to avoid non-reading of the chip, the trap should be like somewhere here, so that the pigeon will
No,
not come.
let's do it like that, for
Okay,
example.
there you go.
So the only thing what you should avoid is that pigeon walk here on that corner
Yes.
to get into the loft, because that doesn't make sense.
Correct.
Then you will just cover this part of the antenna. So be sure that they will walk like that. If you want to be very safe, you will put tunnels or bob wires just on the second field. So the first field leave completely open, and pigeons will walk and can be clocked very fast. And if you want to be safe, you put the holes like that, in that angle. Then you don't need bob wires, so the pigeons will go like that, and will be clocked on the second row.
So at least in the middle,
Yeah.
right, the tunnel.
But for example, if you go to the Hoosier, you can see those antennas are just on the floor. They have the bob wires somewhere here, and the pigeons will be just slow down a little bit, and then they walk over both fields, and it works.
Okay. And how long is the wire, by the way, from the
The-
loft?
From the standard wire, which is inside the clock, is 5 meters,
Okay.
and on the antenna you will have another 2,
Okay.
and you can extend them by 2, 5, 10, and 25
And just connect
meters.
them together.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And what we did in the last years, we have here this silicone plug next to the plug. So if you put the antenna cable to the antenna connector and you tight it, it's even waterproof, the
Okay.
plug, because that silicone rubber is 100% waterproof.
So that's the main, one of the problems. So that this
Yeah.
one will mitigate the problem of rusting.
Exactly. So if you take this plug out here, if I let it out, that's just for protection. This one, and you now use it like that.
And that waterproof there.
Yeah, so now you have to tighten it, and you can see here even you can put a screwdriver on that one. So you tighten it very fast, very tight. And even this one can now go into the water, should not, but it can if there is rain on it.
Yeah.
With a standard plug you will have big problems. So
Okay.
oxidation, whatever. And water is always the damage, you know.
So, okay, you have M2, right, and you have M3. Can you tell us what are the differences between M2 and M3 aside from their number there, 2 and 3? So what's the difference? Why should I get the M3 over M2, or why should I get M2 over M3? Let's not talk about the price. We
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that this is more expensive,
Yeah.
but you know, fanciers will spend money.
Yeah.
But what am I gonna get from him?
So I will tell you, if you are a fancier on your own, you are not racing in a partnership with your family, whatever, or with a friend. So you are a single fancier. You will not have more than 500 pigeons. You will not have more than 8 pads. Go with the M2, more than enough. Yeah, because you have the same features, you have the same functions, the same speed on the M2 clock. If you are racing with even one more fancier in your loft, you will need the M3. If you want to have this high quality feeling in your hand, holding a full aluminium cover, a very,
This is the M3.
that's the M3. So that
This
you
is
will
heavier.
see, it's heavier than an M2,
I have
definitely.
a M2.
Yeah. So you will see there is a difference, but not from the inside. The CPU processor, the memory and everything similar. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm showing it like you can bring it to the club like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
It's small,
Yeah. It is.
but this is heavy though. It's like a cell phone heavy.
Yeah.
So if I have multiple family flying in the loft,
You will need any
M3.
M3. Yeah.
How many birds capacity the M2 could have?
500.
500. That's the maximum.
Yeah.
How many birds maximum of the M3?
10,000.
10,000.
Yeah.
So, for example, 3 family, let's just be extreme. I have 5,000, one family, 5,000, one family, 5,000, one family. That could be possible.
Sure.
Okay, that's the good thing about the M3. Any questions, guys?
Yeah.
Any more questions?
What you can also do, I did not mention it because that's nice when I show it. You can register your electronic bands yourself to the clock without going to the club. So that's very easy. There is as it's a touch screen, it's a very,
I like to hold it.
it's a very easy menu. Also, you can use the power bank, of course, on your M3 clock. And what I'm doing right now is I connect my clock to the antenna pad, simulating a little bit the loft. So when the clock is starting up, so first time when you start the clock, it will immediately show you can start your training. But what I will do is I will go here to the Pigeon menu. I will go to management. I'll say enter a new Pigeon. So I choose the live band number. Let's choose AU for American Union. I go there. The year is 2025, so it's already a bird for next year. I put in the club credentials in case needed, and of course the live band number. And now I go on OK, and now it will ask you for the chip ring. I press the button chip ring, I take an empty chip ring, put it on the pad, and it's registered and you can go. So this is something, I would say, in 1 minute, in general, you can register 2 pigeons easily yourself on the antenna pad without going to the club. You can change the sex, you can add the colors, and once it's added and connected to the smart hub, it's also in the Pigeon profile available online in My Pigeons. So but that's also for M2. So M2 and M3 can do it. The M1, the old clock, can do it as well, but it's not so nice to type because you don't have the keypad. you have to go up and down to scroll through the letters. And here you have a touch screen with all the details.
Another question of some, fanciers. Can you reuse the chips?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you can modify the, what do you call it, the information and everything.
Now, as long as you have this chip ring, you can rewrite it as often as you like. So that's not a problem. That's a little bit different. I think the only country which is doing a little bit different is Belgium. The chip ring is assigned to that bird and not to the bird, to the fancier. And that's to prevent that it will be stolen and also preventing some security issues. So that's a little bit different, but that's the only country I know doing this kind of safety inside the chip ring. But in general, ring can be used many times. Yeah.
Awesome. Any more information, Thomas?
Do we have to take the dog to the club?
Yes.
For basking?
Yes, we do it. We have a reason for that. In general, we don't need to do it because from the club it will go to the cloud, and from the cloud it will go to the loft. That's what it is. But what we like to show up is the backup function. So we like to be safe that the pigeons are inside the clock and that you transport the security code from the chip ring inside the clock. That's the reason we did it for over, I don't know, since we are doing clocks, since in end of 90s, we are doing this way, and we are sticking a little bit to the minimum requirements of the International Federation, and they say still this is the safe way to do it. Because let's say you don't take the clock and there is an issue in transferring the pigeons from the cloud to your server. So what do you have? The pigeons are in the cage, in the truck, but you have no backup, nothing. So you have to trust the internet, and we don't trust the internet. Yeah.
No, thank you so much, Thomas, for the
Yeah.
presentation.
Thank you very much. In general, this is the page, the dashboard for a club manager. The club manager or the club members, they can see the races, they can see the recent competition, they can see a kind of ranking and race winners. So that's my Austrian club here. And what I would like to show you is how cool a basketing process can be. For this we developed a complete new device. Get the right chip rings here. For this we developed a complete new device. It's the Benzing Live Smart Club System, the Live Club System. And you can see here, at the moment it's just plugged with a simple power bank. Yeah. So the power bank, I'm directly in the light. So the power bank here is powering the complete club unit, so you can move this club unit directly to the basket or outside where you are. So there is no need to have an electricity over there. So,
You want me to hold it the other one so I can look at that?
no, it's okay. So I just leave it like that. And now I connected my clock to it, and I want to basket my pigeons. And I need my authorization card to start the basketing. I accept the time. And now you can see the live basketing is in progress. Because this live basketing unit has a complete live unit, which we have in our loft as well. So this unit here is completely integrated in that one.
They're coupled.
Yeah. So no, it's not coupled, it's inside the hardware. So in that one there is as well a SIM card inside, there is a GPS inside, so no additional cables needed to get this part. So when we started the basketing, it will show you live basketing in progress. You can see the first fancier is connected, Sharon Harris. I will now click on show the progress of the basketing, and it will tell you, okay, we are now waiting for the first pigeon to basket. I will use my pigeons here, and just scan the bird and you can see in second. And just note, this server is in Austria. Yeah. So we are scanning a pigeon here. It goes here and it's online immediately. So you can see that's the first pigeon in my basket on my clock. I put the second one, third one, fourth, and fifth. So we have 5 pigeons now in that race for Sharon Harris. You can see first the live basketing is still in progress. I will quit the basketing process now on that clock, and I will start. So just a second. Go here. So go to management. I start the flight. And you can see basketing in progress will now swap to the date and the time, and this fancier is done and he can now go back home. And now the next fancier will connect his clock. That's an M3. He will go to the club. He will connect his M3 clock to it. It will start up. I will go on basketing, authorization, accept the time, and in a couple of seconds we will see Robert Heusenden is now in the basketing process. It's now 2 fanciers in line. Still we have 5 pigeons, and now we are counting up Robert's pigeons here. So that's real-time basketing, very transparent, because every club member can follow it from home, from the club. If you have a nice, let's say a screen in your club, you can display that basketing process from the far. You know, most of the security things happen in the club. Yeah, so that's no doubt that's the biggest issue we have. But let's say if someone is basketing your pigeons for you and you are sitting in the back, or you're waiting in the back, you can follow it. You don't need to watch the clock, because the clock is next to the club unit, but you can see on the screen what is happening and what is going on. So now we have 10 pigeons in total from 2 fanciers. Also, I will stop the basketing here. I go to stop the basket, and the basketing process is now stopped, and the race is ready to run. So the club secretary is now setting the liberation point. You are going back home, you connect this clock to your live and antenna, and when the birds arrive, it will update the results as well in real time to the whole club.
So if you went right now to the, like a regular fancier going online to see the race, it would show these birds as entered.
Yeah.
Right after you do this.
In real time.
In real time.
In real time.
From the interface on the internet to look and see follow.
Yeah, you just go to My Pigeons, you click on your club, and once the basketing is working, it's like that. Yeah. So now then it's just the arrivals coming up, and that's the point. So the great thing is, of course you can still print out papers in case the club needs it or wants to do it. But everything we have done now, all the basketing lists and everything is now in your app already. So it means when we disconnect the clock, you have already the basketing list as a PDF on your phone, and the race secretary has the PDF in his email. So everything is there. No need to print out in general, but some people still stick on signatures. But yeah, in Belgium, for example, it's completely paperless. So they do not have any papers in.
Do we have any app, or just say Benzing only? Benzing one location?
It's called Benzing Live, the app,
Benzing Live.
and it's free. It's a free app.
Okay.
On the app, you can check the status of your clocking at home, and you can see that the training started, that the races started. You click on it, you will see the basketing list, like I've told you, in a PDF document. It looks like that. And from there you can print it, you can save it, whatever. So that's the main thing about smart basketing. It's transparent, it's safe, it's completely in the cloud, and it will give you all the data immediately, a backup on your phone.
I kind of experienced some bird that they basket it, but when they release it, when the bird arrived to the loft, it did not clock in.
It did not clock in.
No, yeah, but they basket in, like sometimes the sensor is messed up, you know.
Yeah, but when it's on the basketing list, it must be written.
Written, okay.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Always, okay.
Yeah. What can happen, and this is not very seldom, is it happens. There is a reading field inside the club unit, right?
Okay.
And I will show you something. So if I go to settings, and there is a ring test. So if I put one of those rings inside that field, it will read the ring. That's the same what we are doing for basketing.
Okay.
But for example, if there is one ring, if someone tries to, let's say, clone or do something, and he likes to put a second ring in his hand, it's not working. See that? See that? It's not working.
Okay.
So you cannot read it because there is a security inside. And what happening as well is that this authorization card
Yes.
is also, it's a device, it's a chip
I
inside.
know.
So if your club secretary is using that one like this, he's close to the field. See that? This one will read. Now you put the ring, and it can happen that the security page of the ring is damaged because the club unit says, hey, there are two data responder very close to my field. And then there is an automatic block inside the ring, and will say, hey, stop this chip ring, and it will not work. But then you can still fix the chip ring. If it happened not by purpose, if it happened by mistake that this card was too close, you just go to the ring test, you put it there, and it will fix the ring once you put it here. So that's a safety behind
Okay,
it.
awesome.
But you cannot basket two rings
At the
or
same time.
anything. Yeah, that's not possible.
Question.
Yeah.
So are you saying if a guy is palming two rings in his hand,
Yeah.
or one in his hand and one with the bird,
Yeah.
it knows that and won't register either of them?
That's what I just showed you. If you put two rings here, it will read one. It will show you just one ring. And in case you are trying to manipulate, because we are writing the security number, yeah, and the security number is checked
So
when
then
the
it would
bird
be in
arrives.
the clone,
Exactly.
if it, and then it, so it wouldn't clock the bird.
Yeah, because there is one additional thing with Benzing. There is a unique ID behind it, and every ring has its own unique ID, and the unique ID cannot be copied. That means when the bird will arrive, next to the arrival it will show you NOK, which means not okay, and it will disqualify the bird. And what I just told you before, the only thing where people cheat, or where
Yes.
people cheat, that's after the basketing. So you have your
Right.
you have your bird in the basket, you put it there, so now you know your bird is there with the written security number and everything is there. But if one person has the chance to grab this bird again to make with a copy type, there are some Chinese devices where you can copy it directly,
Right.
then you are copying it. But this is why the club basketing is a process. If a fancier should never basket his own bird, that's rule number 1. And rule number 2, you are not allowed to touch a bird once it's basketed.
Right.
So that's the main keys. And because this is still happening, there are a lot of double security checks. So we can even check on the truck. We take out a pigeon randomly. There is a special scanner, and we can see, because everything is online, and this chip ID is online as well, so we know what security number is behind this chip ring. And when the bird arrives with a different number, it's a proof. So with all these cloud features, GPS coordinates on the pads, GPS and live data online, you are prevent all these things.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. So I just logged in on the United States dashboard of My Pigeons, of our platform, and you can see there are a lot of base organizations, sport clubs, combines inside, and these smart clubs, which I just told you, guys who are using the Benzing Live. And just grab one of those, let's say this Queen City Club here in the United States. And there you can see that was just a race 2 days ago, Big Apple auction race, Big Apple won. So those races are online. You can see how many fanciers participated, how many pigeons, and you can see the race winners behind it. And what is really great to see on that one is, if I click on the race, you will see here the ranking. So the first one was this Top Gun, the second was Holland Brook. That's I think that's
John Panic.
yeah, that's John Panic, right? And so you can see next to this green button all these pigeons. When you see this green button, then we are talking about live data. So this data was transmitted completely live. If I click now on this arrival, and everyone can do it, this is completely transparent to everyone. If I click on that one, you can see this pigeon was clocked with live. This is the GPS coordinates transferred by the live unit. You can see the distance from the loft, the yards. You can see the GPS and NTP time and when it was created. And you can see, because it's the second one, the second arrival, it was only 4 minutes and 35 seconds to win this race. And then you see some detailed information. Even you can see he's using a Pro 2 chip ring on that one. You can see the arrival time, the yards per minute, and everything, the loft position, so everything is there. And you can see the coefficient, the percentage, and the points. So this is just the information on this single arrival created when the pigeon arrived in real time. Yeah? And if I click on the pigeon itself, then you can see that's the pigeon. If you like, you can add your parents, siblings, and offspring to it if you want to keep a kind of statistic behind it. But you can see, and that's the great thing, you can see here the top 10 performance of that pigeon. You can see the season performance of that pigeon and the live performance of that pigeon. So everything is there. You can see the distance what the pigeon fly against how many fanciers, the coefficient, everything is there. If you click on the race, you are inside the race where you can see all the things. You can add, if you like, medical records. You can change and upload, of course, a pigeon. And if you are selling this pigeon to someone, you can transfer that pigeon to a new owner. So all this statistic data will move to the new owner as well. So that's just a little bit backside information. But the great thing is, of course, this club dashboard. I just showed you the live basketing process. But what is more interesting is that you can see all the competition of the season, and these guys from the IF are really using this dashboard since years and very, very successful. Yeah, that's just what I wanted to show you in the
Thank
club
you, Thomas,
level.
for that presentation.
Yeah. Welcome.